everyone, thank you so much for clicking on this video today. So in today's video, I'm just gonna play with like makeup. As always, I never really have a rhyme or reason to the look I do, but I did get a bunch of products from Sistar, which is a brand, makeup brand, and I've been seeing them a lot on like Instagram lately. So the brand Sisters had a pop-up shop in Maryland this past weekend, and I decided to go to it because I wanted to kind of see what the brand was about. I haven't tried it or anything like that. So I went to the pop-up event and I met some people from the brand, and they were all so super nice and sweet. And I got some stuff from the brand, like foundation, concealer, and some eye glitter and some other goodies. So I'm gonna try to use some of that on my face today. And then I wanted to kind of play around with that BH Cosmetics palette that I used in the last video, because I only use one color from that palette, and that one color was beautiful. So I wanted to see kind of the potential of that palette. So I'm just going to sit down and play with some makeup, and we're just going to see where this goes. So if you want to see what happens to this face, keep on watching. Alright, so to get started, I'm going to fill in my brows. I have been obsessed with this NYX Micro Brow Pencil in the color black for the past few months. It definitely has replaced like my Anastasia brow wig and some of my Benefit products. So that's what you see me doing here. I love the color because it's black, but it's not too harsh. So then I'm going to go in with the Itchy Skin Perfecting HD Concealer in the color Tan from Sistar Cosmetics. This is a very thin concealer, I would say, but it worked perfectly fine to carve out my brows. So that's what you see me doing here. I'm just applying that with a really tiny synthetic brush. And then I'm going to also use that as my eyeshadow base for today. I'm someone who just personally prefers using a concealer as an eyeshadow base, so I'm going to blend that out with a flat concealer brush, and then I do set that with translucent setting powder, just so you know. So then I'm going to take some Scotch tape, and I'm going to put this on the corner of my eye so I can get a really sharp, defined, crisp line. So that's what you see me doing here. So now I'm going to go in with the BH Cosmetics Ultimate Artistry Shadow Palette. And I'm going to pick up that brown shade, and I'm going to use that as my transition for today. It's a very beautiful, subtle brown shade that's going to help me blend out my shadows. So then I'm going to go in with this deeper brown shade. It's a very warm tone, kind of orangey brown. And I'm going to also throw that in my crease. It's a little darker than my transition shade, but it's going to help me create a beautiful gradient. So that's what you see me doing here, just blending out that shadow. Now I'm going to go in with this really beautiful, like turquoise, deep turquoise blue color. The only thing about this color is as I blended it out, it did become a little darker. It looked more like a really dark blue, almost black. So if you want to get more of that blue color, I would suggest packing on the color versus blending it out right away. But you see me just going back in with that transition color and blending out the harsh lines. So now I'm going back in with that concealer from Sistar Cosmetics, and I'm going to use that to cut my crease. It actually worked fairly well to cut my crease, even though it was a thinner concealer. I was a little afraid that it wouldn't get the job done, but it did. So that's what you see me doing here, cutting my crease. So now I'm going in with that top shimmer shade, that blue shade from that palette. I'm really sorry this palette doesn't have names, but I'm using that to kind of create a double cut crease. So I'm going to focus that color on the top portion of the cut crease that you see me doing here. I'm not bringing it all the way down to my lash line. So I'm packing that color on using a really tiny eyeshadow brush. So then I decided to take my Smashbox Primer Water, and I'm going to foil that shade because I want it to be really bold and metallic. So that's what you see me doing here. So then I decided to go in with the color next to it, which is kind of like the same tone of blue, but a little deeper. And I'm going to concentrate that color more towards the outer V, also foiling it just so it kind of gives a little bit of a gradient from one blue to the next. And like I said, I'm not bringing this down to my lash line because what you see me doing here is I'm cutting my crease for a second time. So it kind of creates the illusion of like a blue like glitter liner right at the top of the cut crease. So I'm just using that concealer to double cut crease my eye. And then I decided to go in with a tiny eyeshadow brush and kind of pack on some of that blue on my outer V just to blend that brown shade in. So I'm going in with this kind of like beige flesh tone color, and I'm going to pack that on my lid to set that concealer. And that's what you see me doing here. Setting that color so it doesn't move. And then with a tiny blending brush, I'm picking back up that blue color, and I'm going to kind of fade out that end so it kind of just gradients from one color to the next. I'm using the It Cosmetics eyeliner, and I'm just creating a wing. I'm leaving the tape on there so the wing could be super sharp, but that's not necessary. Now I'm going in with this bone color, and I'm going to use that just to set my brow bone. And that's what you see me doing here. So I'm going to remove the tape. If you do the tape trick, remove it a little bit more gently than I did. So now I'm going in with my Wet n Wild Rose Multitask Oil. I have been loving this lately to moisturize my face. So, Makeup by Ariel, which is Kylie Jenner's makeup artist, always moisturize her face after doing the brows and stuff. And I really love that technique. So that's what I've been doing lately. So now I'm going in with my e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer. And I've been obsessed with this. It just blurs my pores and just makes my skin look totally seamless. And I'm using that to prime my face for today. So now I'm going in with the Itch You Skin Perfecting Liquid Foundation from Sistar Cosmetics. And this is the color Bronze. And I'm just applying that to my face with a synthetic brush. And that's what you see me doing here. This is my first time using this foundation. And then I'm going in with a Moda foundation brush. I really like this brush because it's huge and I feel like it blends out my foundation super quickly and super fast because it's so large. But that's what you see me doing here, using this to blend out my foundation. I actually used to use this all the time like about a year ago, and then I went back to like beauty blenders and stuff, but I fell back in love with this brush after using it with this foundation. So now I'm going in with that concealer that I use for my eyes, which is the Sistar Cosmetics concealer in the color Tan. And I am just using that to highlight the high points of my face, which is what you see me doing here. And then I'm taking a Real Techniques blending sponge, and I'm just blending that out. So, after blending it out, I realized it was a little light, just a little bit. So I did set this concealer with a deeper powder than I normally do. So in today's tutorial, I decided to use the translucent medium ethereal powder from Too Faced to set my concealer. So that's what you see me doing here. But I realized it was a little dark for me, which is crazy because in the summertime I think it matched me perfectly. But before I fix that, I decided to put my eyeliner on, and this is the Shockwave Neon Eyeliner from LA Girl. This is my first time using this color, and it is pigmented. It is beautiful. Oh my goodness, I was not ready for it. So then to fix the darkness on my face, I decided to take the original ethereal powder from Too Faced, and I just set underneath my eyes just to bring a little lightness back to my face. So then I decided to set the rest of my face using my LA Girl Pro Powder in the color Warm Caramel, which is my favorite face setting powder. So that's what you see me doing here. So then I decided to bronze using my favorite bronzer, which is the Anastasia bronzer in the color Cappuccino. So I'm just bronzing on my face, bringing a little color, you know, trying not to be casket ready. So that's what you see me doing here. And then I'm going to go back in with that beautiful blue shade, and I'm going to smoke out my lower lash line. So I'm going to take this color and I'm going to concentrate that on the outer part of my lower lash line. And then I'm going to take those two colors and I'm going to put that towards the front. So I'm going to take that deeper blue shade and I'm going to put that in the middle of my lower lash line. And then I took the lighter blue and I put that more towards my inner corner. So then I went in with the Half Moon blush duo from Sistar Cosmetics in the color Deeply Flushed. And if you see my face, that's because it was hella pigmented and I wasn't ready for it. I was a little shooketh. So be careful because it's very pigmented. But I did put that blush on. And then I went in with my Nars Climax mascara. And I put like 2 coats on each eye. This mascara is really good at holding a curl. So if you're someone who finds that your lashes tend to straighten out during the day, I don't think you're going to have that issue with this that mascara. So then I went in with the Milani highlighter. The name is escaping me right now, but it will be in the description box below. And it's a very subtle highlight. It's not like blinding. So if you want more of a subtle gold, this would be a really great highlighter for you. So then I'm going in with the Velveteer lip crayon from Sistar Cosmetics in the color Nude, I believe. Yes, it's in the color Nude. And I put that on. And then I went in with the Buxom lip liner in the color Covert Affair, which I really love this lip liner. I was obsessed with it at one point and wore it like every day. And I'm lining my lips, and then it has a brush on the end, so I'm just using that to blend the 2 colors together. And then I just set my face using my Smashbox Primer Water, the coconut one, and your girl face is done. Alright guys, so this is the final look, and I don't know about you, but I feel pretty. Like, oh my god, like my whole look today I am obsessed with. The foundation is the from the brand Sistar. I think it's just pronounced Sister, but I like Sistar. And it's the It's You Skin Perfecting Liquid Foundation. It's supposed to be lightweight and long wearing. So I'm not quite sure about the long wearing part because this is my first time trying it. But if I can, no promises, but if I can, I will do an update in a few hours because I'll probably have this makeup on all day because it's so freaking pretty. So as far as the foundation, this is a medium coverage foundation. It's medium. Maybe you can build it to full coverage. And I say that it's medium because I have my scar on my forehead, which if you guys watch my videos, you know I have a scar right there on my forehead. And I also have a mole right here, like a beauty mark. I have a natural Monroe and it's right here, and I have another one right here, and I have another one right here. So I have 3 beauty marks, which is just little black dots on my face. And when a foundation is full coverage, they cover them completely, and I can still see it through the foundation. So it's definitely a medium coverage, which I don't have an issue with. But if you're someone who likes a full coverage foundation, this is probably not going to be it for you. This is going to be more of a natural finish. Like I said, a medium coverage. It'll cover like redness and stuff like that, but anything like really like pigmented, you should probably color correct first before you use this foundation. Like I said, it gave me a beautiful finish. It's not matte, it's more of a natural satin finish. So if you have dry skin, you're probably gonna really enjoy this. If you have oily skin, Sistar, you might want to use a mattifying primer because I could see how this could possibly get a little shiny throughout the day. But if you have dry skin like me, I think you're really gonna love this. So I want you to note that when you're shopping for this brand, that they do run deeper, which I appreciate. If you're a chocolate girl, they're gonna have your shade, because a lot of the foundation shades were deeper and darker than me. They have way darker shades than I am. So if you're a chocolate girl, you're gonna find a color for you. If you're really pale, I mean like really pale, I don't think this is for you. No, sorry, sister. If you glow in the dark pale, just keep on walking. These boots are made for walking. This brand ain't for you. But if you're a medium to deep skin tone, sister got your back. So let's talk about the concealer. So the concealer, which is the It's You Skin Perfecting HD Concealer from Sistar Cosmetics. This is a very thin concealer. I would probably say it's a medium coverage. It's not as full coverage as like Tarte Shape Tape or my Can't Stop Won't Stop from NYX, which are my two favorite concealers. This is definitely thinner, a little bit more watery, but not like in a bad way watery. Like this is more like if you want a natural kind of concealer, like something that's not going to be too cakey or anything like that. So if you're someone who really doesn't have too much pigmentation like underneath your eyes or on your face, this concealer will be great for you. If you're someone who has a lot of darkness, you might want to color correct before you go in with this concealer, because like I said, it's about a medium coverage. Alright, so the next thing that I picked up from the line was the Half Moon Blush Duo. So I picked up this one strict because of this color. Like this color is beautiful, but when I put it on my face, I did mix the two. Alert, disclaimer, I'm telling you this right now, this is super pigmented. Go in with a light hand. I went in and I knew in my heart that this was gonna be pigmented. Like, you know, like when you know that you about to F up your whole face because you're about to put something on your face? I knew that. I knew that this was gonna be pigmented. So I just put my brush in there and I put it to my face and I had like a red dot. And I was like, you ain't about to mess me up today. You ain't about to catch me slipping, okay? So, I quickly dusted off that brush and just blended in that little red dot that I had on my cheek. Because I knew if I would have tried to go back in to this blush, it would have been like red. You gonna be like, Gloria, you sick? You gonna be like, get with the glow or get with the mucus? Ain't nobody got time for that. So, this is pigmented. Blush could be your friend or it could be your frenemy. It depends on how you put it on. Alright, the last thing I used was the Velveteer Lip Crayon. I used the color Nude, and it's the Velveteer pencil, which is this pencil right here. And I actually mixed it with the Buxom Plump Line Lip Liner, and this is in the color Covert Affair. It's very comfortable. It's not matte, it's not gloss, it's a velvet. So I don't really expect the wear to be that long because it's a velvet and it doesn't claim to be long wearing. It's very comfortable. So if you're someone who suffers from dry lips, I think you're gonna like this. Alright, so last but certainly not least was the BH Cosmetics Ultimate Artistry Shadow Palette. Beautiful color story. Beautiful. The arrangement is really pretty. It gives you lots of pops of color and all that, and this is so pigmented. Every shadow on my eye is from this one palette, and it is amazing, and I'm quite obsessed with it. Alright guys, so this is the check-in. I've had this foundation on for about 13 hours. So I can honestly give you a good opinion on it. I'm sorry this is a little ghetto. I'm actually just standing in my bathroom and all that. So, yeah. It is quite shiny in like my T-zone area, my chin, my cheeks. And I am someone who is very dry, so for me to have some shine, that means this foundation is very hydrating. I don't think those are my natural oils. I definitely think that's just from the foundation. So if you are oily, you might not like this foundation, but if you're dry and you have an issue with hydration and foundations cracking and all that stuff, then you might really like this foundation. It was super comfortable and all that, and I didn't really feel it all day, but yeah, let's get up close so you can see. So nothing's really, I mean, around my nose is starting to break up, and underneath my eyes, the concealer looks like it's kind of gone, but such a thin concealer, but I'm not getting any cracking. It's just definitely shiny. And I'm pretty sure if I blotted, it would be better. But, yeah, that's what I'm working with right now. So, do I think this is a good foundation? For the price, absolutely. I think this foundation was only like $9. So, yeah, I just wanted to do a check-in. Sorry if the light's really weird. Like I said, I'm not sitting at my like setup. I just wanted to film this for you guys before I wash all this off and go to sleep. So, yeah. Oh, and as far as the lipstick, it's not long wearing, and I had to reapply because I ate and all that stuff. I ate a couple of times since I put this on, so I have reapplied, but it's very comfortable and it applies really nicely over itself. So yeah, but that is what my face looks like after 13 hours. Bye guys. So with that being said, thank you so much for clicking on my video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel, and don't forget to hit that notification bell so you know when I upload another video. Thank you so much guys, and I'll see you next time. Bye.